Hey guys, Panzer J back here in operation from Russia with Love. So we are at turn number 11. It's July of 41. 11.4 for Japan. So just wanted to go over real quick some of the missteps I had from Japan 10.4. I know Global War 36 enthusiast already covered this in his UK video, but I just wanted to go over it a little bit. And again, completely reiterate what he said as far as when you got a good group of guys uh, playing like we do here, it makes it so much easier and such a more smooth operation because there's bound to be, in any YouTube war, there's bound to be things that pop up. It's just the nature of it. You don't have 4 or 5 guys standing around a table playing the game where something would be pointed out immediately. It's just the nature of YouTube wars. This is the way things are going to be. And again, if you got a good group of guys who are willing to cooperate and work with each other and recognize that we're all going to have these little bit of blunders here and there, it definitely makes for a much more enjoyable game. So the biggest one for Japan was down here in New South Wales. So I had brought over from C-Zone P-73, brought over 3 destroyers with a Marine each and 2 naval transports with a total of 4 Marines. So I obviously knew that Peter had 2 fighters here in Sydney and also that Sydney had an air base. But I was thinking with version 3 rules, and since New South Wales did not have any units in it, I didn't think it was possible for him to scramble. Because in version 3 you had to have the territory defended with something in order to have fighters scramble. So I was thinking that he couldn't scramble, so I just went in there and didn't even bother to ask him about the scramble with his fighters. So Boston Bruce, good catch Bruce, he went ahead and recognized that mistake. So then, and this is where we completely worked through things without any issues. Peter had actually not caught the fact that he could scramble either. Matter of fact, nobody did but Bruce. And Peter had already started his next turn, at least asking Hambone about combat issues that were going to come up. But both Hambone and I completely agreed that that would have just been total horseshit to deny Peter the ability to scramble, just because he had technically started combat in his turn. So we said no, that wasn't fair. It was my mistake to begin with to not recognize that he could scramble. So we went ahead and PBE'd it, and I feel bad. I mean, I already hate making mistakes as it is, but then Peter just completely came out on the short end of the stick. So he did go ahead and scramble both fighters, and PBE generated 2 rolls of 12. And then for my 3 destroyers, which had a reduced value of 1 because they're carrying Marines, so I had 3 3s, and I rolled 2 2s and a 10, I think. So poor Peter. Not only doesn't he get any hits himself, but I take out both his fighters. So turned out good for Japan, but still felt bad about that. Other than that, there was just a couple other minor things. Kwang Tung, I built 2 militia in 1 turn. I only could build 1. And then I went ahead and did 2 rail movements in Asia when I only had 1 available. So just a couple minor things besides that. But overall, again, everybody was extremely cooperative and understanding, and we got through it without really an issue. Okay, so on to Japan. So we've got our 2 tech rolls. Let's see where we're at here. So we did advance to stage 3 with improved factory, so we're going to try for that and finish that off, hopefully. And then we've got improved construction, which we've been stuck on stage 2 for a while. So both of those require a 7 or higher. So let's go ahead first with improved factories. And a 6 does miss. And improved construction. 12. So we got that. So again, I literally think it's been one out of 2 every turn. So we'll go up to stage 3 for improved construction. Okay, on to purchases. So Japan has 58 IPP to spend, and I think we're spending 57. So over here, Bruce moved, I believe, 2 battleships and an aircraft carrier off the coast of San Francisco. So that now gives him a total of 5 capital ships to my 3. So I no longer have Kido Butai. So these ships are all going to be full price. So I've got 2 heavy battleships at stage 2 I'm finishing off for 7 apiece. That's 14. 2 regular battleships at stage 2 I'm finishing off for 6 apiece. That's 12. So that's 26. I'm going to upgrade an infantry to a motorized for 1. That's 27. Purchase a motorized infantry for 4. That's 31. A minor factory for 8. That's 39. A mountain infantry for 4. That's 43. Militia upgrade for 4, that's 47. Another militia upgrade for 4, that's 51. 2 militia for 4, that's 55. And then I'm going to upgrade a minor port to a major for 3, that's 58. These over here, if things go well for me this turn, I'll be able to place those as well. Okay, so combat, we have 5 combats. A couple of them are just walk-ons, and then a couple of actual die rolling. So here in C-Zone P54, we're going to go into the Solomon Islands, which is currently undefended. So this destroyer here in P53 is going to pick up the Marine in Queensland and go 1, 2, and drop that Marine off there on the Solomon Islands. Battle number 2 is going to be here on Guam in C-Zone P43, and again, it's a walk-on. So this naval transport here in P53 is going to pick up the infantry on New Britain and come up 1, 2, and drop that infantry on Guam. Battle number 3, another walk-on there in Wake. So that's P36. So the destroyer here in P16, you're going to pick up the Marine in Tokyo and go 1, 2, and drop that Marine off on Wake. Battle number 4 is over here in Burma. So Global War 36 Enthusiast has got a militia. So we are going to, let's see, we've got 3 naval transports here in P50. So we're going to pick up on 2 of the transports. We are going to pick up 1 Marine from the Philippines. Actually, we're only taking 1 transport for now, so scratch that. So 1 Marine from the Philippines and 1 infantry from Siam, and come over 1, 2, and drop those 2 guys off in Burma. We're also going to have one of our fighters from Cochin, China, come up 1, 2 to Burma as well. And the 5th and final battle is here on Ceylon. So Global War 36 Enthusiast has got a militia again. And we are going to take the other 2 transports. They're going to pick up 2 Marines from Sarawak and the other 2 infantry from Siam, and come over 1, 2, and drop them off on Ceylon. And then the 2 heavy cruisers that are already in that sea zone, I-11, are going to shore bombard both of them Ceylon. So I'll put those over there. So that should be it for our combat. So we already went ahead and did our walk-ons. None of them had any IPP value. Okay, so the first battle with some die rolling is in Burma. So we've got a Marine, an infantry, and a fighter against a militia. So let's go ahead with my fighter first at a 6. A 5 does hit. And the militia in return at a 2. And 8 misses. So we take Burma, and that's worth 1 IPP. The last battle is here in Ceylon. So we've got 2 Marines and 2 infantry offloading along with 2 heavy cruisers shore bombarding. I'm not sure. I think it's just jungle terrain, which shouldn't affect the ground units. Okay, so first our 2 shore bombards at 2 for our heavy cruisers. And a 9 and a 12 both miss. And then we've got 4 2s for the 2 Marines and the 2 infantry. And we got a 1, 4, 3, and 11. So we got our 1 hit. So the FEC militia in return, a 9 misses. So we take Ceylon with no casualties. That's not worth anything. So we went up just 1 IPP. So let's go ahead real quick. Put Japan up to 47. And the FEC goes down to 8. Okay, so now we got a bunch of non-combat moves. Okay, so let's see. We've got down here in C zone P73, excuse me. We're at a major base, so we're gonna go up. This transport is gonna pick up both Marines on North and South Island of New Zealand, and along with both battleships and the light carrier with a tactical are going to come up 1, 2, 3 to C zone P47. The 2 Marines get dropped off on the Marshall Islands. Okay. What else do we have? We've got down here in C zone P72, we've got 2 naval transports, 3 destroyers, and a fleet carrier with 2 tacticals. The 2 tacticals are going to come off of the fleet carrier and fly 1 to New South Wales. Then the fleet carrier itself is going to come up 1, 2, 3 to C zone P53. Then we've got 2 torpedo boat destroyers here in P43. So 1 is going to come down 1, 2 to P53. The other one is going to go 1, 2 to P47. Then we've got 4 submarines, fleet submarines in P36. They're going to come down 1 to P47. We've got 2 coastal subs in P27. They're going to come down 1 to P36. Let's see, what else do we have? We've got here in P50, we've got a battle cruiser and 2 heavy cruisers. And they're going to come up 1, 2, 3 to P43 with that naval transport. We've got 2 infantry in Hong Kong. So 1 is going to stay in Hong Kong and the other is going to move up to Kwangtung. We have 2 fighters that had stayed behind in Cochin, China. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and those 2 fighters are going to land on that carrier in P53. We got the fighter that went into Burma. That went 2 spaces. So it's going to go 1, 2 down to British Malaya. And I think that is it for non-combat. So now that we have Burma, that now gives us Let me check real quick what it was called. So down here, Southeast Asia, we now have Burma, Siam, Cochin China, Anatonka, and British Malaya. So that allows us to put one minor factory and one air base in one of those land zones. Okay, so we've got our air base and our minor factory. I'm putting both of those in British Malaya. And I think that is it for non-combat. Oh, one more. Sorry about that. I have one fighter here in Kwangtung. So that's going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, and land on this light carrier in P16. And that light carrier to come out of port and is just there in P16. So that should be it. Okay, so now on to unit placement. So we've got 2 heavy battleships, and they are going down in P16. We've got 2 regular battleships going down in P16. We've got a infantry upgrade to a motorized and a motorized infantry, and they're going here in Rihe. So take off that infantry, put down a motorized, and then the motorized for the minor factory there. We've got a minor factory we're placing in New South Wales. We've got a mountain infantry we're placing in Kwangtung. We've got a militia and a militia upgrade, and those are going down in Nanking. So there's already an infantry or militia, so just place an infantry there. We've got another militia upgrade, and where do we want to put that? How about in Siam? So there's already a militia there, so just put the infantry there. Then we've got 2 militia. One we're going to place in Shenxi, and one we're going to place in Shanghai. And then lastly, our port upgrade is here in P47. We'll take that minor to a major. And that should be it for Japan here on turn number 11.4. So let's go through some income. So we had 58 and we spent all of it. So we are sitting now at 47. And then we still have the 6 Chinese territories that yield a 1 IPP. So that's 53. And then we've got 2 for Malaya and 2 for the Philippines. So that's up to 57. And we now have the Solomon Islands, which is worth 1, so 58. So I believe we collect the same amount we had at the beginning of the turn, 58. So let's just do a unit recap real quick. So down here in New South Wales, we have 7 Marines, 2 Tacticals, and a minor factory. In C-Zone P53, we have a torpedo boat destroyer and a fleet carrier with 2 fighters. The Solomon Islands have a destroyer and a marine. C-Zone P47, that port has been upgraded to a major. And on the Marshall Islands, we've got 2 marines and a militia. And in that C-Zone is a torpedo boat destroyer, a transport, 2 battleships, a light carrier with a tactical, and 4 submarines. P36, there's a marine on wake, and then 2 coastal submarines and a destroyer. In P43, we've got a infantry on Guam, a naval transport, a battle cruiser, and 2 heavy cruisers. In C-Zone P16, we've got 2 regular battleships, 2 heavy battleships, a light carrier with a fighter. Sarawak and the Philippines have a marine each. British Malaya has a minor factory, an air base, an artillery, and a fighter. Ceylon has 2 infantry and 2 marines. I-11 has 3 naval transports, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers. Burma has a marine and an infantry. Siam has a infantry and a militia. There's a militia each in Anatonkin and Cochin, China, an infantry in Hong Kong. Kwangtung has, there's one more non-combat. Sorry, guys, I forgot. I wanted to move that seaplane out of there. So if you guys are good with that, that seaplane is going to come out 1, 2, 3 and fly onto the Philippines. So now the Philippines has a marine and a seaplane. So Kwangtung now is up to 12 infantry, 2 mountain infantry, and a militia. Nanking has an infantry and a militia. The other territories in China there stayed the same. And then Rihe has 3 cavalry, a militia, and 2 motorized infantry. So that should be it for Japan here on turn number 11. Hopefully this turn was a little bit better without any mistakes. Make sure you guys tune in to Global War 36 Enthusiast channel for the UK.